Hi gang, it's been a hot minute. This video is a long time coming. This is the process video for a piece that I made about 2 months ago now. Excuse me. It's one of my favorite pieces I've made, and I've been really trying to get this video out, but unfortunately, I started my final year at school. I'm working on my essentially my capstone project, like my big final thing, and that's gonna be the first chapter of a graphic novel, and I'm super excited. So hopefully the next couple of videos will be about that, but I think unfortunately I'm gonna focus on the art rather than making videos about making the art, but hopefully I'll have some stuff out for you guys to peep at later. But yeah, thank you so much for your patience and watching this video, and yeah, we'll get started. Yay! I'm here in my home studio, as if I would say, if my home studio, which is in there, isn't completely covered with trinkets and other projects that I'm in the middle of doing, some of which that you will see quite soon. So I am on the floor of my room right now. And it's really hot in here. There's an AC and a fan going and it doesn't do anything. But I'm working on the floor. There is my pewter, and there's my ice cream treat, and the piece that I'm working on, it's a piece. I think I especially want to do something about this, do something with this, specifically, or I want to make a video about this piece, specifically, because I'm going back to my collage roots. I haven't done a collage in a hot minute. Even during school, it was I was so busy that something that was taking that was time consuming, I was just not super, I just could not afford to spend all that much time cutting and gluing and snipping and stuff. But I am just cleaning up the sketch right now. You'll probably see that I just draw something on a piece of paper and then slowly, methodically start just building up, right on top of it. I don't really do a lot of prelim work, especially for stuff which isn't great. I know I have 3 different professors trying to beat me with hammers psychically, but it's summertime. I do what I want. But yeah, I'm gonna probably make some more videos, have some more stuff, and hopefully the next clip will be in better quality and I'll actually be in the studio, not just kind of hanging out. Yeah. But yeah, this is usually how I start out my process, which is just constantly flipping through magazines for an extended period of time. And here I'm lucky enough to find really big spreads with the same gradient. Usually I have to make my own sheet, so it was sort of nice to use that, using the light and dark to try to indicate space a little bit. But yeah, that's just me doing that. Welcome back, cadets. I just finished the very first layer of the piece. I think I talked about this before, laying down the purple. Super fun. Forgive the noise quality. I have 2 fans going on right now because it's either that or I start dropping sweat on my piece that's entirely made of paper. But yeah, I haven't done this in a hot minute, so I'm super excited. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna, there's a lot of orange in this piece, specifically with the hair and then the webkins. I'm gonna use the same material. And I think when I do something and there's a lot of where I know I'm gonna need the same color, or I'm purposely using the same material, for just to connect 2 elements of the piece together, both symbolically and literally on the piece, I usually just grab construction paper, and go Eric Carle style on it, which is just grabbing some crayons and going stupid mode, which I'm gonna do right now. Yeah, I might also just grab some white paper and then completely scrap it. It really just depends on the effect I want to get. So huzzah. So this is what I got so far. It's still in a lot of layers right now. This being the actual piece itself. You see I just like have like the real big background swath laid out, and then like the start of like the face, and then the fingers. That keyboard's gonna be a pain in the ass, but it's fine. But I'm super excited about this, which is the screen. And one thing about collage is you want to make big and then cut down to size. And so that's gonna be all this, and then and for a long time I was like really nervous about this being in the ugly phase for like so long, because it was just these two pieces. But I think like the texturing really adds to it and really makes it feel like it's like actually something, and not just like me like slapping two pieces of paper together and just calling it a day. And then there's going to be like a lot of the UI elements, which is all this, and there's going to be some stuff here, so it should be well populated. But I am quite pleased with how this little guy came out, or he's coming out. He's certainly not finished. I'm a big fan of like the Webkinz. I think he's like pretty big, but I don't really care. I might honestly lower that if I can. Do I think I have room? I got like a 1/4 inch of room, honestly. I might just gently peel that and reaffirm it, because there's not a lot of space for him to stand, and I like the size he's at for visibility. Oop, don't peel up. This is the thing about rubber cement, man. This was glued down for like 30-40 minutes, and it just like comes right up. Oh, heaven sent. Peak. So yeah, it's like he's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. Actually a little bit closer to this, I think. So it's gonna be like here. A little bit. Yeah, it's gotta be like there's a slight curve, which is not my favorite. But it's like, I think I can just really gently set that back there. I said I wasn't gonna work on this anymore, and then I totally did. That's on me. I just, like, I've gotten into the headspace, so now that I've started, I physically, it's very hard for me to stop. Which is great, because I haven't been like that in such a long time. My last semester really wiped it out of me. But yeah, that's what I got so far. Yeah! Where this clip is a little sped up because I remember it so distinctly. I had a really long day like working and stuff over the summer. I was like doing a lot of like extra things to help out my folks, and so I think this was around like genuinely 3 o'clock in the morning when I sat down and I decided to finish the little Webkinz, and easily he's my favorite part of this entire piece. Just like that sweet little face. And like it was so satisfying cutting out those like little extra tidbits to really add texture. You can see me rubbing all the excess rubber cement off. It's like the material that I love using. I think I talked about it a little bit earlier, but it's like you can just like rub it off of the paper, and most of the time it doesn't like affect, like, unless you're like really slapping it on, it like completely like leaves the paper. Sometimes you do have to like scrape it off if you have too much excess, but if you use like a smaller brush than the one they provide, you can get like a really even coat no matter like what happens. But for something delicate like this, it's a lot nicer to get like a little sharp tool and just peel that out rather than using my clumsy homunculi hands. And it's nice because I didn't super scrape off like the crayon and stuff. I really slapped that on there. It's like rose art and Crayola. That stuff's not coming off. But I'm just like cleaning it. And no, this piece was like really a delight to make. It was based off of like a sort of intense like memory from my youth that I don't necessarily want to get in about, but it's like a mix of like very distant and relevant memories sort of like mixed together. So it was nice to like make a piece and be able to spend so much time on it into something this big. I like I said before in previous clips, the past semester I was just so totally burnt out from anything that I spent most of the summer horizontal, let's just say that. And so in the original audio I remember commenting on how nice it is to go back to art after letting it steep for so long and not doing it for like 2 months, which was like a really long time. And so to come back and make a piece that, one, is very important to me, and two, also something like that is like technically and aesthetically wonderful, it's really fulfilling. It means a lot to me, and I was really manifesting all those feelings into this like really little cat. I think at some point I'd want to make stickers of the little dude. I have really solid photos of him separate. And this is the final christening touch where I add his little pink nose. I think I remember struggling with this because the crayon was either too light or it looked like it was drawn on rather than like another piece of paper, but I was just so tired of like gluing fiddly bit after fiddly bit, and I just wanted to do like the pink stitching, get it out of the way, and the crayon's not enough. And so I have to pick out a completely different material. And this is the only time that I use it in this whole piece, and I think it's coming up. It's this, I had to use marker to transfer it over, just to make sure that it read, but I think it was a really good choice. I remember at the time I was like really nervous that it was like too pink, and like everyone could tell that it was a different material, but like no one can tell. These are Tombow dual tip markers. These are my live or die sort of markers. I don't use them as much as I used to, but I'd like to go back to them at some point. They're really swell, and they like last forever. I think I've had like most of them since early high school, and they've just lasted forever. But yeah, there, and I'm adding some more purple to sort of like dull out that pink to make it look a little more naturalistic. But then like he's done, and it's really wonderful and super sweet. But that's enough of that. It's time for more speed cutting. Yeah, I'm going to town. I've gotten to the swing of it. I'm just slicing and dicing. I loved making the UI for the Webkinz website. I didn't actually play Webkinz a lot, even though like my piece kind of surrounds it and centers it. But so going back and like looking at it, I'm like, oh, this is like super cute. And it wasn't really necessarily part of my childhood, but I'm glad it was part of others. And here I'm making really tiny ones. It's super cute and super fun. Hello, I'm slightly damp, and it's been some time between I think the last time I filmed and now. A lot of stuff has been going on. Just like I've been very busy with like outside stuff and work. And I've sort of gotten to the point where the piece stopped being fun. You know, you get to that point where it's like, this is incredible, it's gonna look so great when it's finished, and then the sort of like luster wears off, and now I'm staring at like this half-finished piece, and it's like not even half finished, it's like 75% of the way done. And that's really the shame, because what happens is I do like hit the hurdle at 75%, which really sucks, because like this ain't half bad. Hey, I spent like 6 hours on it already or something like that. Like nonsense. And so I am just sitting down and I'm looking at it and I'm forcing myself to finish it because I need to finish it and I need to finish this video, because I meant to post midway through July and August is in 3 days. It's the 29th. So I gotta lock in, or technically, yeah, it's a couple sleeps. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. Hopefully I can lock in and get my stuff together, because I really want to finish this. Okay, we're back. I am just about finished with the piece. Hold on, I spent like 10 minutes like adjusting this, and I'm still like, as soon as whatever, it's gonna this is just the way it is. There it goes. Ignore all the crap on my desk. It's been a rough couple of weeks. Okay, so I told myself yesterday, I was like, okay, great, I'm finally finished with this piece. But now I have to do something, and something that I gotta crit this shit, man, because there's like some things that I finished it, and instead of like the sort of like wave of satisfaction and like, oh great, it's done, it's not there right now. And so that tells me, and I ate, I slept, It's been a day, and I still have that feeling, but now, instead of just like lamenting that my art career is over, classic, I now have like the brain power to be like, oh, this is why it kind of looks like Dookie Fart to me. And so here's some things that I've noticed. First and foremost, this space is really killing me. Wow, that is blocking out the sun. There it goes. Fantastic news. I'm actually on my desk now because it's not boiling in here. The whole reason I had to record on my floor was purely because, like, I like the space, honestly, it's great, but also, because it gets stupid hot in here, and I can't put an AC unit in here, so I had to move to where I could, thrive. But one thing that I've noticed immediately is something, that I've talked about with, like, professors and stuff. One thing here that I've noticed, too, because of the heat, it's buckled over the paper, and so that's really frustrating. And it's done that in a few places over here, too, which really sucks, but I think I've gotten rid of most of it. Just needs like a little more finessing. I don't mind that some of the pieces are coming up. Honestly, I like the way that the shadow holds itself. It gives the piece more dimension, but I digress. I have like 6 million things to say. One thing here is this like large portion of space. I've thought about adding something. I've thought about like adding some more textural elements, but I think legitimately what is going to happen, I think the solution that I would like to make, and one that I probably shouldn't make just due to the construction of the piece, I would just straight up take the guillotine and just slice it down the middle right here. And just like that slice, because it's not giving any more information, it's not like describing the space. I wanted to purposefully use this like sort of like purple gradient as like a way to make things feel vague and almost dreamlike, because it is like a very fuzzy, it's based off a very like fuzzy memory now. However, I think it sort of backfired, and it's like not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Another thing is the actual Webkinz stuffed animal. Now I like this. This is my favorite part of the piece. I've taken a lot of pictures of this, so I think I might make a sticker out of it at some point. If I have the time/resources to make something like that. Because it's super cute. I'm a big fan of it. Specifically, like these and everything. It just really came together. You could tell I was having a lot of fun. Here, I really struggled, and I think, to me, it feels like you can really tell, and that's probably just me self-projecting. However, I think part of the reason why this feels so empty is because the purple gradient and the fact that this is all white plain paper. And so now the problem is the heat has set everything. I can't peel this shit off. I can maybe adjust like very small pieces, but stuff like this and this I've glued down really well because I didn't want them to move. And now guess what? They can't move. And so it's really a bummer. We're so late into the piece that a lot of final changes must be sort of minimal. And that's okay. That's a hill I'm ready to die on. Not every piece is going to be perfect, but I'm glad that I can step back for a minute and I can adjust. And I think if I were to make this any sort of like print or at all, anything of the sort, I would like crop it and adjust some of the stuff, because I think besides that, I like everything else. I think my little self-portrait here came out well. I was thinking about including like an eyelash or something, or like an eyeball here. I might still do that because I like it. It's probably going to be like a little bead, like little round black beady eye. Because it was like the brief moment of my life before I had to wear glasses. And so I feel like I had really little peepers as a wee tyke. But yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I'm not going to mess with the background. I think it's just going to piss me off more than anything else. But I think the things that I will fix and adjust, maybe add some small details to the keyboard here, because it does have like a space bar, and like all the details that I put are on the bottom and they all get covered up, which is of course the way it is sometimes. And then I think I'm gonna take a nice gray or maybe even like a light blue and just like kind of gently add some patterning into the white just to add some like differing like stuff, maybe some inference of like a computer stand here, because I think I don't especially like how these feel separate. I tried to unify them with color, but I think they still feel pretty separate. But yeah, that's the game plan. And then, so hopefully I will do that, and then it will be done. And then I can finally stop filming, and I can actually start editing this video. This piece took way longer than I thought it would, but I like it. I think, yesterday I was really discouraged by it, and how it ended up, but I think now, looking back on it, I'm like, this isn't bad. This is pretty good. I think another thing, too, is I would add more of these here. I just wanted to make... They're the same thing, because it's the Webkins, and so it's like the stuffed animal and the avatar look the same. They're supposed to. It's a unifying theme. But I think I would like some extra texture there, and maybe some, like, even, like, little stringies of the white. But we'll see. We'll see what's up. Alright, well... I didn't add the eye, and like I said before, I wasn't gonna crop it. But I think this was a really good move, was to add these textures and the little eyebrows. I think it gives this guy a little more character, which I think is what was missing. And also different. Yeah, I think it's done. I mean, I signed the back of it, and that should be a sign that I think it's done. I'm gonna let it dry. I'm really happy with it now. I think it looks really good, if I do say so myself. But I think now, sorry, I had to take you off the... Alright, I think it looks good. I'm feeling good about it. Alright, I'm gonna cover this up, because now, the true problem, forgive the fan noises, I have to clean up this! Which is gonna take up not a lot of time, but some amount of time, and I'm, this is my bed, and I shall roll around in it. But if you like this video, thank you so much. Thank you so much for staying the entire time, because I feel like this video is a pretty long one compared to my other ones. Like, comment, subscribe, do whatever. And I'll see you in the next one, gang. Goodbye. Ooh.